Oh, well, welcome Grenada, Carrico, PD, Monica, and the rest of the world. I'd like to welcome you to another Mikey Live program. People, I'm your host, Mikey Hutchinson. We are coming to you from the spice isle of the Caribbean. It's called Grenada. Of course, we are going to highlight a lot of things that's happening here in Grenada, Trinidad and Tobago, Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, Dominica, the Caribbean. I mean, and sometimes we even tell you things about things that happens in the wider world. All right, folks, I'd like to welcome you to what we call news discussed, not told. All right, so Olia, let's get right into what's making the news for tonight. The Ministry of Education is considering ebooks for schools. Very interesting perspective. We'll talk about that in a moment. Accident in the heart of the city. Today, we'll tell you about that. 19 out of 22 schools submitted SBA scores, says the Minister for Education, Honorable Emmeline Pear. And reintroduction of the National Youth Parliament here in Grenada. We heard from the Minister on that. Kate, hi, how are you? Andre Fletcher to captain Grenada in Windward Islands Senior Cricket Tournament. Thumbs up, bro. All right. And more reading encouraged in secondary and primary schools. House destroyed by fire in Carriacou, and protesting residents. Burns a bridge, cutting off themselves. I never hear that yet. No, I kid you not. And we will show you a picture of it. Now imagine you have some issues with the bridge, you don't like the bridge and kind of business, and then you decide, okay, in protest, I will burn it down. And then when you finish burning it down, but you realize, but wait now, how are you going to walk? We'll tell you about that and more when we return on Mikey Live. Folks, we want to encourage those of you who are on social media to please share the business, right? Particularly those of you who are on Facebook. It's very easy. You hit the share button, yes, and of course that ensures that other people gets to see that the program is live. And of course, it's one of the things that keeps the program free to view, right? Once you're sharing, then you know nobody that will pay to view the program. Yes, good. All right, so please go ahead and do that. We see that we are joined by the folks at WPG10, that is cable TV channels 10 standard definition and 11 high definition. We welcome you as well. We see that we are joined by folks on YouTube. We want to say hello and welcome to our viewers on YouTube as well. Folks, the headlines was brought to you for the kind compliments of Duty Free Caribbean and Colombian Emeralds International, Olia and WPG10 as well. When we come back, it gonna be real news in Olia Lily Lolo. So brace all yourself. I want to say hi to my granddad as well. He'll feel special when I say that. Good night to your granddad. All right. So folks, we come to touch your thing, get some coke and ding, drink a little something, because when we come back, it's suspense, action, and drama.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
And so it begins, a journey like no other. Jungles so lush, they make emeralds jealous. Water that sparkles like diamonds. Mountains with more facets than precious gems. This is where good times are had, where love is strengthened, where memories are formed. And when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will never fade. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
On Saturday, 6 April, the National Stadium comes alive with the grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. St. Andrew Big Parish Stars versus St. Mark Western Stars. And from 9 p.m., defending champion St. Patrick Crown City Strikers versus St. John Dolphins. Experience pure football, pure class. Then after the games, we move stateside for the top 3 artists in the International Groovy Monarch from Trinidad. Groovy King Swappy from St. Lucia with his man Teddyson John and the Grenadian Golden Boy Vaughn. Also featuring the band Solid and Pappy Boy. Admission $25 main stand, $20 bleachers. The grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. Get into the game. Saturday, April 13th is the date. 4 p.m. is the time. It's the 3rd annual Grenada Invitational. World-class athletes, world-class performances, and a world-class facility. Come see Olympians Andre DeGrasse, Shellyan, Fraser Price, Braylon Toplin, Asafa Powell, Lyndon Victor, and the cast of superstars at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tickets are now on sale at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Maxis Bar, and Venus. Saturday, April 13th. Grenada Invitational. See you there.
McIntyre, top of the screen in the colors of Grenada with a bit of a lead.
To keep it fresh, chill it. To get it hot, cook it. To keep it clean, wash it. Do all that and more with top brand appliances from Quartz. Try that recipe on a new stove. Keep those fruit bowls chilled in the latest design fridge. Get laundry done with a brand new washer and dryer combo. Purchase any Whirlpool product and get a chance to win $8,000. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing until June. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, the last commercial to get through, right? Yes, hi, folks, you got to get ready. It is back. The Grenada Music Festival, June 7th to the 9th. I understand that there's a team of persons working on this, people, to make it a reality. I was so excited to know that the festival will be back, and this time with a bang. You're telling me, folks? We were in conversation with the promoters and the organizers of the event, and we might have something big, like something huge, supercalifragilisticexpialidociously humongous to tell you, relating to the Grenada Music Festival. Take all the time with me, don't rush me. You know what I mean? We gotta tease all with it anyway. Lately that talk day. Now, folks, let's get right into the news. Welcome to the people who are now joining the program. We just had free roti and coke. All miss it next time come Oli. You know what I mean? Yeah, alright. And I tell them, don't tell nobody. Now the Grenada Cricket Association, the GCA, Republic Bank Right Start on the 19 tournament is scheduled to be launched on Monday, April 8th. Alright, and then from that, it will be the competition. Now the competition will take place from April 13th to May 4th. Now, St. David's is the reigning champion. Now, the competition will take the format of 2 zones. So we'll have Zone A, St. Mark, St. George, Carriacou, and Zone B, St. Andrew, St. David, and St. Patrick. Now, the preliminaries will run from April 13 to the 18th, and they are as follows. For April 13, St. David's versus St. Patrick at Lasso Just Plainfield. April 15, St. Andrew versus St. Patrick, Progress Park. April 16, St. Mark versus Carriacou, National Stadium. Then we have April 17, St. George's versus Carriacou, National Stadium. April 18th, there will be 2 games, St. George's versus St. Mark's at the National Stadium, and St. David's versus St. Andrew at Progress Park. The semifinals will be April 23rd to the 24th, and April 23rd, the winner of Zone A is going to play the runner-up in Zone B, and April 24th, winner of Zone B will come up against the runner-up in Zone A, and the final will be on May 4th. All right, folks, we have an update for you from NAWASA. Now, they did say that from time to time you would have changes in the valve regulation. And so they say they want you to know that there has been some changes in terms of the schedule for the Vendome water system. All right, the schedule has been revised. Affected customers are encouraged to take note of the changes and to have water stored to last you at least a minimum of 3 days. All right, and that represents 35 gallons of water per person per day. Now the changes are on your screen. Now the affected areas are Black Forest, Constantine, Bolio, Mount Gay, River Road, Mount Morris, Bellevue, Snug Corner, Boca, and Melrose. Sorry. All right. Now the daytime to nighttime supply is available. Here's when 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right, and 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. and that is going to last until further notice. I hope that you're able to read clearly the instructions on your screen. We are moving on. Okay, we have so many things to tell you about tonight, boy. The Ministry of Education, they say that they are considering e-books. I ain't making it up. E-books, all you hear about it already? They say we believe that the time has come to seriously look at the introduction of e-books. So says the Minister for Education, Human Resource Development and Religious Affairs, Honorable Emmeline Pear, at the recently held post-cabinet briefing. In fact, that was held today. Now, an e-book is an electronic version of a traditional print book that can be read by using a personal computer, or you can use your e-book reader, your tablet, and so on. She says that a lot of parents might be able to relate to this, having health concerns for the children with the book on the back and the other, and kind of business. Now here's Emmeline Pear, Minister, speaking about this.
We believe the time has come to seriously look at the introduction of e-books. The process has started, consultation. We've started looking at actual suppliers, actual contractors that we can engage in this process. And we view this as extremely critical for a number of reasons. I'm sure for many of you who are parents, you are concerned about the health implications of the number of books that our children have to carry on their backs on a daily basis. It is frightening sometimes. And so that we expect would address that particular issue. But another important thing that we've looked at is the number of boxes of books that we have stored at schools throughout the island. Now, the school book list will change. We have no control over this. But when the book list changes, the question is what happens to the millions of dollars you've already invested in those books. And so we view that as another reason why we have to seriously look at e-books. But also the question of every child having every book available is also a concern, because while government invests millions of dollars, only last July we'd have spent just over $2.8 million on school books. Now that to me was still just a drop in the ocean, and so it means that we have to seriously pursue that conversation of e-books and how we're going to be moving forward.
All right, and so that's Minister Emmeline Pear speaking about the conversation of e-books and where we should be heading. All right, I see somebody talk about lockers and all that stuff, but that's a conversation that will be had, I'm sure, in terms of what's the best way forward for this. Now, in an update on the National Secondary School Games, which has acted in somewhat like a substitute for the Intercall Games, we can tell you that the event will be held Friday, the 6th of April at 9 a.m. Now, the meet, which is the end product of 4 zonal meets, will feature athletes with the 2 best times in each zone in competition on the day. All races on the day will be final, while athletes will get a chance to take part in field events. Now for the day, all normal class activity or classroom activities will be suspended. All right, and of course they expect the children and everybody to come down to the National Stadium for that. They'll be having presentations and so on, and performances by Mr. Keelan and them kind of business there, so you know what I mean, so all the self. Yeah. Oh yeah, you will get more on that in the national report. The next thing that I want to tell you about, boy, is that 19, according to the Minister for Education, 19 out of 22 schools have submitted their SBA scores. Now, Friday was the deadline for the SBA scores to be submitted. Now, according to the minister, after Friday, 17 out of the 22 entered their scores. And then on Monday, you had the others, 2 others, submitting again. So it turned out to be, as of yesterday, 19 out of 22. Now she anticipates, according to her, that soon they'll be receiving the other schools. The other 3 schools. You understand? She made it, that was her. She said that she wanted to recognize those who ignored the call of the GUT president and went ahead and submit the business. This is what talking about it today.
As of last Friday, most of you may or may not be aware that deadline for the submission of scores for SBA expired. So at the end of Friday, all schools in Grenada should have entered scores for all of the students who are sitting exams where SBAs were required. At the end of Friday, there were 17 schools of the 22 secondary schools entering their scores online. At the end of Monday, we had a total of 19 out of 22 schools, and that was yesterday. I would anticipate that today we should have 22 out of 22. There has been some technical glitches experienced on the online system, not from our end, of course, you know, it's a regional system, and we have brought those to the attention of CXC. In addition to that, we have had calls from all the schools who missed, schools that missed the deadline, asking for an additional 1 or 2 days extension.
All right, but in response to the claims by the minister, the president says that he has to do his checks and speak with the schools, but he has reasons to believe that the minister may just be a little misleading in her comments, stating that, of course, there are several departments and so on and disciplines that needs to submit these scores. Yes, so probably, for example, if a school submit, it could have just been one person, also one teacher, versus the other 9 who was supposed to, in a school where there are 10, if you understand what I'm saying. So he says that he needs to do his checks and so on, and then he will be able to say for sure what's going on with that. Now, she said that she wanted to thank, that's the minister again, the stakeholders who supported them in a call to the teachers for them to go ahead and mark and submit those SBAs. Now, in particular, she wanted to say thanks as well to the Conference of Churches.
I want to use this opportunity, therefore, to recognize all of the teachers and principals who have continued to perform their duties as it relates to the marking of SBAs and the entering of the schools. We continue to provide whatever necessary guidance and support that may be needed at this time to the additional schools in question. Additionally, I want to recognize all of our stakeholders who have commented positively on this particular matter in the public domain and privately maybe, encouraging those who have to do what has to be done. Particularly, I want to recognize the Conference of Churches for their public statement on this particular subject, which I thought was extremely timely, recognizing the importance of SBA, not just in terms of general education, but in terms of the opportunity that it can provide to a student who is completing their secondary school education.
Thank you very much, Minister. Of course, folks, we will have more on that for you in the national report. Now, the next thing that we have to tell all coming out of the post-cabinet briefing, boy, is Miss Lewis, Skita Lewis, speaking about the division of youth and stuff and what they have been doing. And all here, they are about to reintroduce youth parliament on the parish level. Now, between me and all, you know, I used to think and I used to look forward to the youth parliament because I thought that I was going to be a politician when I get big and I get big. You know, so I used to be involved in youth groups and so on with the hope that when they get into select those people and then they go see me and they go select me, but not go so. So I think I missed the boat with that. But of course, they are going to reintroduce that so that other people will get an opportunity to be part of the business.
The reintroduction of the National Youth Parliament took place on January 23rd, 2019. This youth parliament created a platform of expression for our youth parliamentarians to discuss issues of national importance as well as to lend their voices and understand the parliamentary proceedings. The current participants will further be engaged in June and November of this year to complete the youth parliament stint. During this month, April 2019, the ministry will reintroduce the parish youth parliament. The first sitting will be held in St. Andrew by the end of this month. To date, all participants have been selected and training has already started in St. Andrew. Following the St. Andrew Youth Parliament, we will move on to the other parishes.
Thank you. Make sure when you come in, go let me know it. I'll shape of the beard and thing like that. See if I could look young again. What's the age and thing again? Oh, by the way, yeah, based on the age, maybe I could be still able to take part in the business because I want to be a politician. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just want to hear a ton politician. Leave that talk there. Alright. Oh, yeah. By the way, let's tell you this. You see that star on your screen here, boy? We're talking about Andre Fletcher. He's a star, boy. He doesn't get enough recognition, I find out, but anyway, that's a small thing. Alright? Andre Fletcher is to captain Grenada in the Windward Islands Senior Cricket Tournament. I'll give him a clap. Now, the following players have been selected to represent Grenada in the 2019 Windward Islands Senior Cricket Two-Day Tournament. It is scheduled for St. Vincent and the Grenadines from April 4th to 10th. Andre Fletcher is going to be the captain. Lyndon Lawrence. We have again Samuel Charles, Keon George, Johan Jeremiah, Dennis Smith is going to be the vice captain. Ryan John, Dennis George, Darrell Cyrus, Preston McSween, Imran Joseph, Shimon Lewis, and then we had Teddy Bishop. You understand? And the team management unit is Rhonda Batiste, manager, and Junior Murray, who is going to be the coach. Olia, that one decent boy. You know what I mean? All give him a clap now, man, and you know we're gonna play a mass. You understand? Yeah, boy. All we going again. How we looking? How we looking? Big up to the people in Cloche. Big up to the people in Mongranby. Big up to the people in them cold communities like Mont Long and thing right now. Where you see you raiding and thing like that? Yo, please mash up. Oh yeah. So the next thing that we have to tell all you about, boy, is about the importance of reading. Yes? Reading a little book and thing like that. You understand? So we have a little thing to show all and to tell all you about, boy. You understand? That's the good. You know, we have the good, the bad, and the Mikey. That is the good. Now, every year since 2014, Sandals Foundation has partnered with the Hands Across the Sea in Grenada to rejuvenate school libraries across the island, impacting students at a total of 17 schools so far. Now, according to a press release, regionally, their partnership has reached a total of 34 schools in Grenada, Antigua, St. Lucia, and Dominica, with 19,496 new amazing books and other literacy tools being added. Now, Hands Across the Sea's commitment is to improving literacy levels and they say that it takes a unit format. The improvement plan begins with assessments of literacy needs, followed by careful selection of types and categories of books, setting up lending programs, and training students and teachers to sustain the libraries. We want to give them a clap for getting involved and, you know, undertaking that sort of initiative, you know what I mean? So for more information on that story, you can check out our website, mikeylive.com. Only realize that our website has been very active lately because we want to make sure that we put up a lot of news, you know what I mean? Yes. Earlier, the GCIC cricket tournament continues with IRL kicks on the program with that one. So we had games. The recent results now is here. We had Hubbard who played at Independence Agency. You understand? And here we go on by. Hubbard scored 233 for 2 in 15 overs. Independence Agency scored 64 all out in 10 overs. That'll fair. You understand? That'll fair. We had CC Strikers versus Housing Authority. Guess how it ended up? Housing Authority made 86 for 2 in 8 overs. Right? CC Strikers 99 for 2 in 8 overs. So big up to the CC Strikers. Alright? And we had the Port Authority and they played the Prisons. Prisons scored 249 for 8 in 15 overs. And the Port Authority scored 100. Whoa, yo. Yeah, boy. So the Port Authority get annihilated by the Prison. You understand? Yeah, boy. Anyway, lately that talk, it's all part of the fun. You know what I mean? Earlier, there was a fire by in Karaweku, an overnight fire last night. You understand? What we were told is that there was only one occupant of this house. All right, and the occupant, according to reports, was asleep at the time. Police they are investigating the cause of the fire. What we were told though is that the lone occupant of this house escaped with some minor bruises. You understand? So again, this one happened on the Sister Isle, Karaweku, and we are happy at least based on reports that there were only minor injuries. We are moving on. How are we looking for time? People, we are a thing to tell all you, but I want to tell all you a kind of story. Anyway, somebody, before I go further, link me up with some coconut oil now, because what I'm saying is I drink a little fig and saltfish and link tonight and the coconut oil done. You know, I mean, link all the boy with a little coconut oil. What it is, me don't eat no saltfish without coconut oil. I tell you all the straight. I just get so sick when I see people putting them frying oil. I know you name how all else call it. Putting frying oil in saltfish, spoiling the saltfish. Don't put no tomato in my saltfish. Don't put no egg in my saltfish. Just give me saltfish and my coconut oil, and I good. You know what I mean? Anything else, always spoil anything. You can put a little carrot and go hold against you. You put a little carrot, but don't make more carrot than saltfish. Because I don't know saltfish. It could be carrot and saltfish, if you know what I mean. So, here we're going on now. Somebody tell me they go bring me some oil, but say honest to God. Make sure you bring the oil. So hear this one now. Protesting villagers in Trinidad and Tobago burn the bridge that they need to cross. Like Granny never tell them, never burn the bridge you intend to cross. No, I'm not making it up. I'm not making it up. You can look at the screen and you tell me what you see. You tell me what you see. They burn the bridge. Well, I never see that yet. Let me get another picture for you. So it's after they burn the bridge now. No. So it's after they burn the bridge now, they get to really realize what's really taking place. Cynthia, you ever see anything? I never see that yet. I'm not making it up. No, according to reports, the villagers had some issue with the condition of the bridge. Some say that it cannot ting and then cannot be this there. So they decide to burn it down. Now, according to fire officers, a report of a fire was made at around 5 a.m. that the bridge was on fire. When the firefighters arrived, residents were trying to extinguish the burning tires and debris. You understand? So like somebody burn and somebody, so like the residents are split on the whole matter. You understand? They say when they arrived, they saw residents attempting to out the blaze. It was not the first time that firefighters were called to extinguish a fire at that bridge. You understand? Now they are saying that some residents have been complaining of the deterioration of the wooden bridge for years. They say that about 3 years ago, temporary repairs were made to the bridge and wooden pallets were removed and replaced. Now police, as you can see, has since cordoned off the bridge and traffic is being diverted. They say about 3 communities affected, you know. What? People, they say about 3 communities affected by this. So when they had to go to work now, they had to scale some river, and some had to pass here, and some had to pass there, and some had to... I never hear that yet. So if you had to beg your neighbor for some salt, what you gonna do? You know, I mean, how you making that one? That one, you see the picture on the screen, let me bring it up a little. That what going on there, like, girl? Maybe they like a gossip to you. See how she and she was, she not come out and wash. And she looking to make a little old talk and she neighbor. So she called out she friend, but realized she can't pass on the bridge. So they talking over the bridge. I'm making it up. Look at it on the screen. Hey girl, what? Like she and she husband make up. Actually she cooking for him this morning. You know what I mean? I never, let me leave that talk. Let's talk about some serious news now. That happened in Trinidad, boy. Olio, a story is going like, it's like breaking the internet in St. Lucia right now. And you wouldn't believe what it is about. A man thieving a phone. Now I get it, that under the circumstances, you want to save the image of the country because he had decided to rob or to snatch the phone of a visitor, of a tourist in other words now. He robbed them people's phone, boy. You understand? So I hear like the whole tongue go after the man, you swear the man kill somebody, you know. What you have media houses like if it's like if Barack Obama in Castries, I'm making it up. You know what I mean? On a serious note, look this story.
No time in bringing this 23-year-old suspect to justice. He stands accused of nabbing an iPhone from the hands of a cruise ship visitor in the heart of the city. The alleged act is said to have happened in the full view of persons who raised an alarm and gave chase. The city police later responded to the calls and arrested the suspect. The alleged thief is said to have a record of arrest longer than his age would suggest. The suspect, according to the CCC's Chief Executive Officer Wilfred Pierre, was contrite.
The guy said he just try a thing. I mean, here you have an individual, a tourist who is visiting, and this guy just decided, this young guy about 23 years, just decided to just try a thing by just taking a lady phone and actually running with the lady phone. The lady took after him, and some persons were able to apprehend him together with our city police. But that is a situation that we're trying to curb within the city, where people just, you know, these young guys just want to try a thing. But luckily for us, we have records on that individual and the amount of time that guy was arrested, you know, so it's something that he's been doing. He showed as though he was somehow sorry for what happened.
But justice had to be served, so the city police wasted no time in processing the suspect and taking him before the courts, literally across the road from their offices.
So we arrested him, and we have a protocol here where when it comes to visitors, we can take them quickly to the court. So what we did was to prepare the documents, and within an hour, we were able to take the individual to the courts.
The young man is now being held on remand at Bodily Prison. The Castries Constituency Council, under the leadership of Mayor Peterson Francis and his Chief Executive Officer Wilfred Pierre, are determined to make Castries a better functioning, safer and cleaner capital. They have charged the city police with ensuring that persons who engage in crime and antisocial behavior are made to account for their misdeeds. This 23-year-old got the sour taste of the city's swift justice. Stanley Lucian for the HTS News Force.
When you see we, the party start. No matter what rum, we drinking that.
Nothing to laugh at. What I'm saying is, how about the possibilities that the man was in a shop, hear the tune play, and just decide to respond to the instructions that joke the man make it, he bringing it back. You know what I mean? What I'm saying is, the man could have well make a joke, or some man can make a joke, boy. I never hear that yet. Alright, so where we going now? Is the city man rap shit longer than the age, you know? What? Although, we have a serious story to take up to tell you about. That one is not no laughing matter. Eh? That one is not no laughing matter. And that story is a story out of Trinidad and Tobago. Would you imagine this story that a teenager has been raped on the first day of a job at a massage parlor? Trinidad. Heartbreaking, people. You understand? Heartbreaking. Good night, Mikey. There's a situation developing. Why? So we are hearing about persons at the maternity ward being admitted and for treatment, and they do not have beds. You understand? The person says, I know this might be rough for you to say, but you gotta say it so that the authorities understand the urgency of the situation. So maybe it's a patient who's saying this. Alright, they need beds. Alright, let me be serious. It's not a patient that you might know. So the one thing. I get it. It's somebody that I know very well. Alright? Who's reporting that. So I wouldn't say it if I didn't know that what the person's saying here is actually factual. It's a very credible source. So they're saying that they seem to have a bed shortage situation in the hospital. You know, parents, listen, hey, take all the time with me, you know. When you see alright, you hear about me and all you. Listen, you see, like when the queen come, when them the royalty people come and they, you know, police escort and they, when they hear it, I ready to go by the hospital to do me business. Take all the time with me, you know. Anyway, so going back to the serious one now. So an 18-year-old, they're saying that she was allegedly raped. Now, she's reporting that the incident took place at around midday on Saturday. He said that it was her first day as a receptionist at a massage parlor. In Santa Margarita. You understand? Only 12 hours earlier, she had been hired after responding to a report that she had seen in the newspaper, in the classified ad section. Now, the woman told the police that while at the parlor, she was working when her manager came and told her he was short-staffed that day and he wanted her to give a client a massage. Okay? She was given instructions on how to perform the duties on the man's back, and then she was sent to a room in the building where she saw a man lying on a bed. Now, she told the police that at the time the man was lying face down on the bed. Now, as the woman began to massage the man, he allegedly, oh, don't call me on the program, not Jed. See, as the woman began the massage, he allegedly got up and forced her onto the ground where he sexually assaulted her. You understand? The woman raised an alarm and was able to fight off the assailant. According to this report, she eventually fled the scene and notified the police. So the police, they came in and they did their investigation, and now the incident is reported to the media. You understand? But I never see more. But I want all you to look into the whole pala, you know. Look into the whole pala, because that could be a kind of, you know what I mean? I ain't, okay. Because I find that kind of fishy. You can't just take a lay person and put them to do a massage. You take a secretary on the first day of job to do a massage. Well, that one don't make no sense either. All I'm saying, a lot of things went wrong there. And we had to get to the bottom of it. No, Grenada, you know, Trinidad, hey, take all the time without that, yeah. When you get a massage in Grenada, good massage you get in there. You understand? You understand? You understand? So all yeah, that one different. How are we looking for time? We have the national report coming up. We have a lot of things to tell you about the national report, people. We also have the Grenada Invitational coming up, people. So what I hear now is that they are making, well, plans are in place already and things like that. They say looking real good. And so they want people to know that this Grenada Invitational will be real different. World top performances and things, they want you to look forward to, people. So in the coming days, you're going to be hearing a lot of things on the program about what's taking place with the Grenada Invitational. All right? So all who call your thing here, come back here tomorrow to hear more about the Grenada Invitational, all right? Top world recognized athletes will be here. As well, we have to tell you that the music festival is back. You see, I don't really want to tell you too much, you know. But like I said earlier in the program, there will be exciting news every night on this program leading up to it. You don't have to take it from me. Just keep tuning in and I go, yeah. Yes, Mr. Hutchinson, there is a bad situation at the maternity ward. Okay? All right. Oh, yeah. All right, cool. We'll look into it more. You know what I mean? Yeah, we'll look into it more. Oh, yeah. What we had to tell all you two boy, you know, we've been telling all you about the store that you all need to check. And I want you all to do so because right now it's a nice little small store, you know what I mean? And a family trying to do it different. So that is why they have the Special Touch Variety Store on Market Hill. And when we talk about variety, it's real variety. When you're looking to purchase several different items, you know, they don't specialize in any particular item. It's a variety store. So you get a variety of things there, all right? So I want to encourage you to go down there and check it out. Say, oh, watching, we hear the thing on Mikey Live program. I mean, might get like a discount, if you know what I mean. Folks, we're coming back and listen. When we come back, we have national report, real interesting and thing today and thing. Let me go and take a, right now, I'm going to take a Coke. I'm going to drink a Coke. I'll come in.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
Bruv.
Hello? I can't see you.
What's good?
But I can't even hear you.
Yo.
Hello? Hello? Ah.
Okay, I see you. I'm good. I'm coming in.
Ah. There you are.
Live the experience right now. Enjoy high-quality video calling today. Stream, upload, and share with Digicel's super fast LTE network. Visit our stores today and live the experience today. Digicel. On Saturday, 6 April, the National Stadium comes alive with the grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. St. Andrew Big Parish Stores versus St. Mark Western Stores. And from 9 p.m., defending champion St. Patrick Crown City Strikers versus St. John Dolphins. Experience pure football, pure class. Then after the games, we move stateside for the top 3 artists in the International Groovy Monarch from Trinidad. Groovy King Swappy from St. Lucia with his man, Teddyson John, and the Grenadian Golden Boy, Vaughn. Also featuring the band Solid and Pappy Boy. Admission $25 main stand, $20 bleachers. The grand opening of the second annual Pure Grenada Cup. Get into the game. Saturday, April 13th is the date. 4 p.m. is the time. It's the third annual Grenada Invitational. World-class athletes, world-class performances, and a world-class facility. Come see Olympians Andre DeGrasse, Shellyan, Fraser Price, Braylon Toplin, Asafa Powell, Lyndon Victor, and the cast of superstars at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium. Tickets are now on sale at godofed.com. Grenadian Optical, Duty Free Caribbean, Maxis Bar, and Venus. Saturday, April 13th. Grenada Invitational. See you there.
McIntyre, top of the screen in the colors of Grenada with a bit of a lead.
To keep it fresh, chill it. To get it hot, cook it. To keep it clean, wash it. Do all that and more with top brand appliances from Quartz. Try that recipe on a new stove. Keep those fruit bowls chilled in the latest design fridge. Get laundry done with a brand new washer and dryer combo. Purchase any Whirlpool product and get a chance to win $8,000. Shop with Quartz Ready Finance and pay nothing until June. Only at Quartz, bringing value home.
Yes, and that's a big event that's going to be coming to Grenada once more. Folks, we've got the National Report.
Ministry of Education says most schools have met deadline to submit student SBA scores. Details to this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Tuesday, April 2nd, I am Sharian Noel. The Ministry of Education is reporting that the majority of schools have complied with the deadline for the submission of student scores for school-based assessments SBA. Minister of Education Honorable Emmeline Pear on Tuesday confirmed that 19 of the country's 22 secondary schools have entered the SBA scores. This news should come as welcome relief for some who have expressed concern in the wake of a call from the President of the Grenada Union of Teachers for SBAs to be delivered to the Ministry of Education without being graded.
At the end of Friday, there were 17 schools of the 22 secondary schools entering their schools online. At the end of Monday, we had a total of 19 out of 22 schools, and that was yesterday. I would anticipate that today we should have 22 out of 22. There has been some technical glitches experienced on the online system. Not from our end, of course, you know, it's a regional system, and we have brought those to the attention of CXC. In addition to that, we have had calls from all the schools who missed, schools that missed the deadline, asking for an additional 1 or 2 days extension.
Minister Pear says the grading of the SBA should not create any additional burden for teachers. SBAs, she says, are intended to assess and support student learning in the final 2 years of secondary school. If administered as intended, SBAs can also serve as class grades.
SBAs for us is viewed as what it is, a school-based assessment. And this assessment is not a final exam, as we can refer to Paper 1 and Paper 2 in the CISEC exam. SBAs are intended to be a continuous assessment of students starting in Form 4. The intention is that throughout the process, teachers get to work with students to improve on their skills throughout the process. And at the end of the day, those scores over the period can be used for classroom assessment and for results that we obtain at the classroom level, at the school level. The final scores contribute to the students' performance at the end of CSEC exams, which is critical.
The Education Minister says a delegation from the Caribbean Examinations Council will visit Grenada soon and will engage with various stakeholders on SBAs.
We have been in touch with CXC and have received a commitment that they would be prepared to come to Grenada within the next week or two to engage all of the necessary stakeholders in additional discussions on SBAs. We view it as critical that parents should understand SBAs. We view it as critical that there should be ongoing and refresher exercises as it relates to SBAs for teachers as well. And so we view this visit not just for the teachers, not just for parents, but also for education officials. And we consider this to be extremely important.
Quick action from Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell, resulted in the executive members of the Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union having discussions Monday on the ongoing fallout from the collapse of Colonial Life Insurance Company, CLICO. Chairman of the Eastern Caribbean Currency Union's Technical Core Committee on Insurance, Mr. Whitfield Harris, met with the executive members at the union's headquarters. It was the first such meeting between Mr. Harris and CLICO policyholders, and he provided updates on the current status of the CLICO situation, which essentially remains a legal issue with adjudicated matters handled by a judicial manager.
We have some issues with the plan as approved by the court. One of them being a major one, being that the court, in our opinion, erroneously described the individual entities in the respective jurisdictions as subsidiaries and not branches. Now that is critical because if we are treated, and that is precisely what we are, then there is no reason why Barbados policyholders ought to be treated any differently than we. It should be a homogeneous treatment, similar, consistent treatment across the board.
Although Mr. Harris did not have news of an imminent resolution of the matter, he spoke of ongoing attempts which have so far failed to bring about reimbursement for victims in Grenada and elsewhere in the Eastern Caribbean. The ECCU committee chair says a plan approved by the court in Barbados 4 years ago is being challenged by the ECCU as it gives a parent preference to policyholders in Barbados, with payout to those persons expected in Phase 1 and those in other countries in Phase 2. Making a brief appearance at the meeting, Dr. Mitchell said it is painful to hear of the grief the CLICO debacle has caused many persons. Though the Prime Minister himself is a victim of the CLICO fallout, he said it is nothing compared to the loss experienced by others. The Seamen and Waterfront Workers Union started its pension plan with CLICO as far back as 1962, with members that they employ sharing contributions to the plan. Over the years, some members would have accumulated several $100,000 in benefits, but today, many of them are left unable to take care of their basic needs.
The overriding concern was that they are going to lose their money. That is the overriding concern. Beneath that, and underpinning all of that, is what is being done to help them be optimistic, to help them think that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. So I explained to them what the Technical Core Committee was doing, and whilst they felt some reassurance there, they thought that their cause needed to have a higher profile, and I undertook in my next report to the Monetary Council to indicate that.
Dr. Mitchell has promised to initiate a conversation with his Barbadian counterpart on the CLICO issue, and he remains hopeful for a change in attitude on the matter. It is estimated that about 30,000 persons across Grenada and other Eastern Caribbean countries are victims of the CLICO debacle. Figures at this point are several years old, indicate CLICO assets are not sufficient to honor its liabilities. The disparity between assets and liabilities continue to be exacerbated with each passing day as the judicial manager assigned to the case is remunerated from these same assets. This is the National Report. We will be back after this break.
After 4 weeks of preliminary qualifiers, after 4 zonal meets, it all comes down to this one incredible day of exciting track and field action. Come on! It's the National Secondary School Games Grand Finals. The Eastern, Western, Northern, and Southern zones will face off. Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Friday, April 5th from 10 a.m. Excitement, tension, drama. The athletes will throw further, jump higher, and run faster. And inspirational halftime performances from Dash, Vaughn, and Mr. Killer. Witness poetry in motion, the fluidity of form and class. National Secondary School Games, the championship. Come feel the rhythm of the games.
Welcome back. Uniform sponsorship has been secured for the athletes who will take to the field and tracks in the final of the inaugural National Secondary School Games at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium on Friday, April 5th. That's according to Minister of Education, Emmeline Pear. Friday's games will feature athletes with the 2 best times from each race from the zonal meets at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium, Cuthbert Peters Park Wharf, Progress Park, and Hillsborough Playing Field. They will compete for the inaugural championship trophy.
The uniforms came into Grenada last Thursday, and DGCL has funded the uniform, and not only that, it's actually imprinting now, so the zones will have their colors, and the zones will be represented in full uniform.
Minister Pierce says logistics are in place, and she used the opportunity to commend Mr. Jerry Alexis, Curriculum Officer for Sports in the Ministry of Education. Mr. Curlin Peters, Assistant Coordinator for Sports, volunteers, and everyone who contributed to the success of the games to this stage.
Transportation, as usual, will be provided to all athletes, coaches, physical education teachers without a cost on that day. The rest of the school population, students, etc., will pay for their transportation as is normal in an intercall meet. So the schools will coordinate transportation. The students pay in advance or on the day, and they will be transported. There will be sufficient accommodation for them to be transported to the National Stadium. Of course, we know traditionally most students go straight to the National Stadium for intercall. However, we do have some students who go to the school and are transported from the school and then back to their homes, and that arrangement is in place. Let me also make the point that on that day, all normal classroom activities are suspended to facilitate the games.
The games will begin at 9 a.m. on Friday, April 5th with field events. And finally, Minister with responsibility for youth development, Honorable Kate Lewis, says St. Andrew will be the first stop for the reintroduced Parish Youth Parliament this month. She shared the information while presenting a ministerial update during the weekly post-cabinet briefing on Tuesday. She says among the positive achievements in the Ministry of Youth Development was the reintroduction of the National Youth Parliament on January 23, 2019. Which created a platform of expression for youth parliamentarians to discuss issues of national importance. It also presented an opportunity for them to better understand parliamentary procedures. Similar opportunities will be presented for those participating at the parish level.
The current participants will further be engaged in June and November of this year to complete the Youth Parliament stint. During this month, April 2019, the Ministry will reintroduce the Parish Youth Parliament. The first sitting will be held in St. Andrew by the end of this month. To date, all participants have been selected and training has already started in St. Andrew. Following the St. Andrew Youth Parliament, we will move on to the other parishes.
The Youth Development Minister also singled out the new Imani program as another positive for her ministry. The program currently engages approximately 2,800 trainees. The final batch was launched in November last year, with the life skill component already completed. Trainees in batch 6, she says, have been placed in 2 categories, apprentice and direct skills training in level 2 CVQ.
We have over 300 persons engaged in training in various areas, including business administration, welding, hospitality and villas, call contact operations, housekeeping, commercial food preparation, computer engineering, and construction.
The Imani program, she says, also has a scholarship component.
To date, we have approximately 100 of our trainees in the scholarship aspect of the program. In May and July of this year, respectively, some of our trainees will be graduating with bachelor's degree from St. George's University and associate degrees from T.A. Marisho Community College. Over 10 persons will be graduating with a bachelor's degree from St. George's University in the areas of nursing, biology, business management, IT, and accounting. We will have over 15 persons graduating from TAMCC in areas of pharmacy, social work, business studies, culinary arts, and building technology. This is a very important component of the Imani program, as it allows trainees to pursue higher education.
And with this, we come to the end of the National Report for Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. Recapping the top story. Ministry of Education says most schools have met the deadline to submit student SBA scores. I am Sharia Noel. Thank you for viewing.
All right, thank you very much, Sherian. And of course, if we just take a quick look at the weather, we see that it is going to be about 23 as a low for tonight. It is currently 23 degrees, precipitation 10%, humidity 92%, and wind 18 kilometers per hour. Earlier today, there was an accident in town, and we have to let you know that there was no major injuries as a result of that. Police, they are investigating this incident. All right, it happened in the city this afternoon. I think it was about 4 vehicles that were affected in that incident. Folks, I gotta run. We want to say hello to all the people who are viewing, those of you on WPG10, those of you on Facebook and on YouTube. It's been a pleasure being here with you tonight. Of course, we have to run. I want to say thank you to all of you who have been viewing, and we're looking forward to having you tomorrow, God willing. Again, I appreciate and love every one of you. Good night. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we all say, Ja! No. Good night, everyone.